guys, PeeCarNoo here, bringing you guys another GTA 5 video. It's not really a GTA 5 video, it's more of a discussion, as the title suggests in the video, who I play with on a day-to-day basis. Who do I associate my life, my shite life, with some of these people? So, I'm going to try and make this video as clear, a bit of a background knowledge on each person, and just basically an insight of who you hear in the videos, who you see in the videos, and who are basically our class as mates nowadays. So, up first, we've got the one, the only, Jack Booth, Mini X Temper, right? You probably know this guy because this guy's been back from pretty much day one in GTA 5, back on the PS3, 2013. I joined the lobby through Shaggy in one of his streams, and I didn't really, notice this guy at first, but I kept seeing him, driving backwards around the track and, coming last because at the end of the day, he wasn't fast back then, and like I said, he used to talk a few times, he used to say the odd word like wagwan, what you saying fam, yeah, that was a bit awkward, but he used to just be that guy that was very sort of on his own self, really. Didn't really speak to many of the people in the game chat, and I'm going to be honest, when I started joining races, I saw this guy, when we all had Skype back in the day, and we used to communicate on Skype all the time because PS3 didn't have party chat or anything like that. He used to message me and be like, yo, you're so sick, man, I want that 9F in it, but I want it in ultra red instead of ultra blue. So yeah, he sort of communicated to me like that, and I was talking to him back, and yeah, he had a bit of a fringe back then, all the Amazon rainforest got all its trees together and just swamped a big tree from his forehead down to his nose. So it was that guy, but at the end of the day, I look upon the years that we've actually been through to now. In fact, last year, really, I started speaking to him more, and, he's matured, he's so much quicker than what he was. If he practices a track, he's really, really quick. In fact, on many cases, this guy can set some insane lap times, right? One word of warning, though, which you've probably heard in some of the videos, yeah? He is a savage bastard. Now, when I mean that, he's basically a cunt. So when I mean that is I'm not saying it in a way that, I'm meaning it like that. I'm saying it in a way that I would speak to him, if that makes sense. So to you, you're probably thinking, hang on a minute, this guy is in your party and you're classing him as a mate, but you're calling him a cunt. No, what I'm saying is he's one of those cuntish guys that will basically rip into you if you don't have an opinion, really, that's backed up by any evidence, if that makes sense. So if you say something and basically it doesn't make sense, or you have no reference, then he will hunt you down and he will kick your ass, verbally anyway. So that's the best way. He always likes to have the last word, and that's what sort of makes it fun, because at the end of the day, in this party, without this guy, in a way, it would be quite boring, and it would be quite, where's the Jack guy? Where's the guy that takes piss out of everyone, including Sean L, but I'll get to him in a bit. So it's just one of those things. But yeah, another video he made was when GTA 5 was at its peak as well. And he made a parody of Galileo Ring, how people used to cut the sand, and curb boosting was forbidden back then. If you did that, then basically bend over. So he made a video. I'll link that in the description because that is actually quite funny. But generally, I do class this guy as a mate. We both take the piss. In fact, me and him probably take the piss out of each other more. Him more than me, because sometimes I just let it go because I'm just that guy, can't be arsed. But Fringe Boy is basically a big softie, and yeah, I'd class him as a mate. I can't see more that I'd look for. In a way, I like having a person like that as a mate, because you can just talk shit to one another and you just bounce off each other, and that goes for the same guy. And this guy is called Ryan. Now, Ryan, right? I'm going to try and make this video as basically from the heart. Touch your heart, right? Because I'm not reading the script. I'm basically talking straight off the bat of what I think of these people and how I met these people. Now, Ryan was on Xbox 360 at the time that I was on PS3, so I didn't really know this fucker. But basically what happened was I used to see his name pop up in races on like Bruffy's races, and you know, I saw him, he used to get these lap times, and I was like, who is this guy? And when the PS4 hit, obviously most of the Nodo crew jumped over, and I think he was literally one of the first people that subscribed to Bruffy on his Twitch chat, on his Twitch stream, I should say, anyway. So he is an OG Nodo guy, as much as many people may disagree with that and disagree with him, but at the end of the day, he was there pretty much before any of most people, really. So I met this guy through PS4, through races on PS4. We used to do playlist racing, and you know, this guy is fast. Like, he is quick, right? This guy does not pop in your session and come last. This guy comes first, second, third, you know, top 5 easily. I've had some insane battles with this guy recently as well, and you know, you've probably seen him in quite a few of my videos recently because I just connect with this guy. You know, it's just one of those connection-based things. You know, it's like Wi-Fi when you enter the password the first time correctly, authenticates, and it just connects. And you know, the thing with Ryan is he is a dickhead. But again, I mean that in the nicest way. I mean that in sort of my language to him. He'll know what I am on about. Jack will know what I'm on about when I call him a dickhead. He's just one of those guys, and his laugh, right? Let me just play a clip of his laugh. Now, that laugh, right, is just like OP. It's like a phase optic 360 no scope hit the you know, guy in the forehead on a kill cam, because it's one of those laughs where you've just got to be like, huh? Really? Like, bro, seriously? But again, it makes the guy who he is. In a way, sometimes, like I've said, we just bounce off each other, you know. It's like, think of it like talking to a brick wall where you can talk so much shit that it wouldn't react to you, and it wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't open up to you and say, hang on a minute, mate, don't you mean like this? And, you know, don't you mean like that? He'll just get on with it, you know. He's not going to judge you in any way like that. Just say as much things as you want to Ryan, and he will say as much things to you, and it's just basically banterous talk like that. Proper banter. I don't like using that word, but anyway. And, you know, I think the main thing is because he's got so much steam and so much energy, and, you know, that energy has to go somewhere. That's why it's located in his nose, because his nose is basically breaking out so much in this. Like, it's infuriating. But, you know, generally a top guy, and, you know, all I'm going to say is, you know, I'm going to be meeting some of these people soon, and I can't wait, because it's going to be a right laugh, and that's just one of those things. So, what I want to say in this video is, you know, I accept the people that I play with. I take it for granted who I play with most of the time, because at the end of the day, I spend most of my hours in the day with these people when I'm online and when I'm racing, and we don't just play GTA 5. You're probably just thinking, it's just GTA 5. It's not. It's other games, you know, play Call of Duty, Battlefield all the time, you know, all those games that are coming out, and it's just going to be jokes, and I'm actually looking forward to the future. So, the next person is Shaggy. Now, Shaggy is not always in the party all the time, but I am putting Shaggy in because at the end of the day, it is a guy that I've played with all the time. And, you know, ever since back from 2-3 years ago nearly, you know, I joined through a Twitch chat from him, and it was... At the end of the day, he showcased Racing to Thousands. Like I said, I made a video on that, and he introduced me to some of these people that I've already said, like Jack, and, you know, like Ryan as well. We used to come through playlists. So at the end of the day, it speaks for ourselves, and I can speak for everyone here. We all Shaggy was the sort of creator of all these relationships that sort of funded, and, you know, it's really good, and it's really interesting to see how friendships have bonded over the years. But the, you know, the competitiveness with Shaggy is on another level. The racing battles, the just general opinions to one another. I'm better than you. You know, you're better than me. You didn't take this pit stop correctly. You know, you're a cunt again. You got a forehead the size of Africa. It's just that love relationship that is one of those things. And you know, like I said, I don't play with him as much as I play with the other guys, but if he's in the party, then again we all gel and we all just have a good time. And you know, I've been in some of his videos before I even started YouTube, and that was a major bump up for me, and I was quite honoured to be, because it's like you're in this guy's YouTube video, you know, he's got 300,000 subscribers and you're in it, and it's one of those things. So yeah, Shaggy is another guy that I consider, you know, my mate, not just a PSN friend like all these other people that I mentioned so far. They are mates. So next person that I have for you, right, is a guy called Mike. Now Mike again didn't meet till PS4 because he was on the Xbox 360. So Mike didn't meet till PS4, and I saw him first in Shaggy's stream, and he was just commenting random shit like he does, you know, pew pew, beep beep motherfucker. So I'm just sat here, right, racing, and I just look up my monitor, right, and I just see this Mike guy that was subscribed to Shaggy on Twitch, just, like, saying funny shit, and it just caught my attention. And then, when PS4 hit, he joined races, and he was, again, a fast guy, and he talked a little bit. He didn't talk much. He was quite shy back then. He didn't know many people, maybe, and maybe he was just a bit intimidated by I don't know, maybe just some of the races at that time. I don't know, but it seemed like he was a bit cooled down, a bit, you know, not like how he is now. But at the end of the day, I used to see this guy always in a grey car. He used to like rock the grey colour scheme all the time. And let me tell you something with Mike, right? Let me tell you something. Mike today is that guy that when you try to diss someone, you usually take a whole sentence to actually diss someone, or even maybe a small paragraph. This guy will end you in 2 words, literally. Now, you've probably seen some of the videos where Mike has just been calling shots out, and, you know, it's hard to come back from a shot with Mike, because end of the day, all he needs is 2 words. It's like his mind processes twice as quick as yours, and then the radius hits the pi square, and it combines the neutral numeric keypad in the middle. So that's how his brain works. It works like a calculator. It knows the answer within split seconds of what it's going to say. So that is Mike. He's a savage bastard. In other words, literally a savage bastard. But top guy. You know, like I said. You know, one of those guys where if he's not in the party, you just need that. You need those people sometimes just to sort of get the party going, you know, with some music and that, mate. So next person I have that I play with pretty much all the time in the party chat and generally in racing is a guy called Uchi. And this guy is Combo Clutch, which you probably know. Now, this guy, right, again, met through Shaggy, and I'm going to tell you the story. Basically, Shaggy was streaming, and I was doing a race, and I heard this guy for the first time, right? And I'm like, hang on a minute, why does this guy sound so clear? Like, so clear. And I'm thinking, alright, Shaggy's streaming, he's probably with Shaggy. But I didn't know, like, you know, I know Combo now he's not with Shaggy, but I thought Shaggy, because he used to invite some of his mates round on his streams, and I'm like, hang on a minute, this guy could actually be in the same room as Shaggy, you know, just one of his mates, and because it's so clear, it's coming from one microphone. At the end of the day, this guy plays a banging tune on the Twitch, you know, song requests, and I'm like, yo, this guy's got some good taste in music, you know what I mean? So I'm going to see what this guy's like. And I see him in race lobbies, and again, quick as hell, one of those people where, you know, when he's quick, he can battle, and he's just got that road. Now I've heard him as well. He's got that sort of Roman style, you know, need Golf fire in it with the escort conversion inside, you know, with the turbocharged, blah, blah, blah. So basically, he's one of those guys that loves cars, and, you know, obviously because I love cars, I can sort of communicate in this guy in sort of car language, you know, and talk about compression ratios and gears and things like that. So it's just one of those things, and, you know, he's a mad guy. Like, again, say something, he'll rip into you, you know, he will, like, literally look down on you and be like, what, mate? You know, what? but he'll obviously, you know, he doesn't mean it in a savage way, but he's just at the time something heats up, he'll probably make a video about it, so check him out in the description. So he's a great racer, quick as fuck, and yeah, he's just one of those guys that, you know, I think is, again, the party needs, really. The party needs these. Now, we all play other games as well, like Monopoly and things like that. You know, I'm on about PSN Monopoly. I'm on about, like, we go to each other's houses, you know, and make cookies and, you know, play Monopoly that way, because that's a bit retarded, mate. So, but yeah, guys, that is just a general idea of who I actually play with. So, you know, you've got these people on a day-to-day basis where I play, I spend my hours on, I talk to these people, not even just about games, you know, even on Facebook, we've got a whole chat on Facebook, we've got, you know, dedicated forum, we've got dedicated PSN chat, we've got dedicated party chat, just dedicated everything, everyone's dedicated to one another, and we all gel, you know, it's all like VO5 gel, just sticking everything together. So without all these people, and again, you know, if certain individuals that I've mentioned weren't in it, it wouldn't be the same. You know, I just like who's with me at the moment, you know, and who is making this scene, you know, better for videos, for funny videos, for serious videos. You know, if I'm in a battle, right, I can always rely on these people to actually, you know, make good gameplay, you know, and be on the side. If we're just in a, you know, messed up mood and we want to do some long haul, again, you probably heard Ryan's laugh, you know, you can hear this guy from literally 25 miles away, and, you know, if you need someone to flipping rip into you, then that's something. Oh shit, I forgot about Sean. Oh shit, Sean L, right, Sean L. Shit. Nah, sit on seriously, Sean L, right, Sean L is that guy, right, that I think is, he's an interesting human being, because I think Sean is a serial killer in real life, because when I think of Sean, he is possibly, when he's on it, the fastest racer on a specific track. If he puts enough effort in and he doesn't choke, he's so fast, and you've probably seen this guy go on and on and on. And, you know, at the end of the day, all jokes aside with Sean, he's a great person to actually just talk to, have a battle with. You know, I first met this guy when he was on the sort of early stage of PS4, and I remember he was in a lobby with a combo and some guy called Lee Kerry, and we were basically trialing people out at that time, and I joined a race, and I seen this guy getting some insane lap times, and then after that we did playlists every day, and he was coming like first, second, third, like most races, and I was like, yo, who is this guy? He didn't have a mic back then. Why isn't this guy talking? So I pressured him, you know, we all were like, yo, get a mic. And then he started talking, got on the mic. And Sean is that guy where if you need a laugh, you sort of like take the piss out of him and he'll react to you and then it'll make you laugh, if that makes sense. And this dickhead copied my car as well. So that's another thing why he's a dickhead. But Sean L is a guy that I think makes the group, I know I've said this a lot when I say make the group gel, but literally Sean L, when he's in the party, he's actually funny. It's actually funny because we sort of all go off on Sean, and then Sean just comes back with some shots, and everyone just laughs. And because he's so good at GTA 5, he's quite shit at COD, I'm going to be honest with you, but because he's so good at GTA 5, he just makes it all good, man. Like, literally, I can't think of something that I hate with these guys. Like, in all seriousness, I don't hate one thing about these people, you know. They're all cunts and dickheads in my own way, but that's just in a sort of banter way, you know. I don't dislike anyone whatsoever, and I just think it's insane how these people, we've all stuck together, and the people that I've mentioned in this video specifically, that I've made a speech on as well, I see literally this is a friendship group. This is not just something that's casually online. This is something that I believe is something to stay. And as though that sounds as gay as fuck, and I'm probably going to get ripped into this from this video, but at the end of the day, they're thinking it the same thing. And, you know, they've even said, you know, this is some of the best times that I've had on here, you know, when we're all talking. So quite an emotional video, something on memory lane through the people that I play with and all the history. But I just want to say, you know, thank you so much, and I'm pretty much saying it to these guys as well, for sort of sticking and, you know, generalizing ideas, you know. And for example, Ryan letting me on his account when I need to do videos, because, you know, he's got a certain car that I need quickly, and, you know, I can get that. And just generally, you know, top people in all seriousness. So leave a like if you enjoyed this video, you know, leave a like if you know, maybe race with some of these people that I've mentioned, but generally, I like these people. So with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe if you're new to the channel, because we got some good games coming out this year, and GTA 5 is improving, and I just want to say massive thank you on the subscribers as well. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed. Cheers.